Welcome back to the shop, everyone. This week's video takes place in 2024, week 38, September 16th to September 22nd. And with that, we are actually all caught up. This is the stuff that I was working on this past weekend. So I guess you'll see this Saturday morning. So this is the stuff I was working on last Saturday. And what we're working on is removing the upper torque boxes from the car. So the torque boxes on these foxbodies are known to bend and get all bent out of shape when you have really stiff suspension and you're really getting into it, which I plan to. So I ordered up a new piece from Team Z to replace the upper and the lower torque boxes. So the start of this process is to pull the upper torque boxes. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to do this a little bit cleaner and nicer. So I'm using the drill. I got a spot weld cutter. So the idea is I will drill out the spot welds, and then this piece should come out a bit easier. The problem with that is some of the spot welds are on the inside of the torque box brackets, and there's just really no way to get the drill in there. So I end up getting the grinder out, and I just kind of cut the brackets apart in some places just to get at them. And then I use my air chisel with a spot weld bit, and I just absolutely butcher the hell out of all the sheet metal around it, but I don't care. I got it all out. And unfortunately, at one point in time, the GoPro died in filming, so I didn't even get like the pulling out the last of the driver's side here. So sorry about that. So as you can see, I'm using the grinder here, and I do something absolutely amazing. I put it right in front of the camera, perfectly in front of what I'm doing. So for the next little bit, you get to see a grinder. I'm sorry. My bad. So it was right around this time that the camera died and I didn't notice. So we're going to jump onto the other side. But first I want to clean up the mess on the floor a bit. There's a ton of grinding and just metal bits. So just clean it up a little bit so that when I'm sitting under there, it doesn't feel like I'm sitting on sand. And we're just going to kind of repeat the process, clean it off a little bit, drill out the spot welds where I can, and then start using the air chisel and make a big mess of the sheet metal underneath. All right, so with all of that work, we have the both torque boxes off. I was doing a little bit of grinding of the original spot welds, and now we are going to jump into a little bit of cleanup. All right, so the next thing that I started on is removing the undercoating from the car. So it's like a rubberized coating that's supposed to help protect from rust, and it sucks. But what I'm doing is I'm just taking a torch, I'm taking a scraper, and I'm heating up the undercoating, and then I'm scraping it off. And this actually works pretty well, as time consuming as it is. There will be some areas that I can't get the scraper into where I'll end up taking the wire wheel on the grinder. But until that point, we're just going to do this method. And this creates a lot of smoke, and you can see I'm not wearing a respirator or anything. And it got to a point where I was like, no, I'm going to stop. I'm going to go buy a respirator. Oh, we got a little visit from Carburetor there. He briefly said hi. But yeah, so I'm going to end up getting as much as I can here, and then stop and be like, okay, I'm taking a ton more of this off. I'm just going to get a respirator so that, I'm not inhaling this old rubberized whatever byproduct it is. Alright, I know this was a really short video, but I didn't really do all that much work last weekend. So as always, if you've stuck around this long, I would like to thank you for viewing, and we'll see you in the next one.